Hey guys, what's up everyone? It's Jackie here. I just want to give my side of the story in regards to why I left Corrupt. And I just want to give my honest opinion and also just state factually what happened. So the rumors and stuff don't kind of get out of control. And everything I say here is just going to be straight up what happened. And later I'll tell you guys my opinions about it, right? So pretty much yesterday what happened was my tags got removed in Corrupt Discord. um, all my member tags and stuff in the Corrupt Discord and also Alliance Discord. I was never given a warning about this in DMs by any officer. I was never explained beforehand that my some of my actions I took would lead to this event occurring, and I'm just going to explain some of these events, right? So the first one was in a 2v2 node war. It was Corrupt and Vertex against No Maidens and Digital, right? So in this 2v2 on Karma, it was going really poorly. Had a lot of troubles regrouping, and there was one point where we took over 5 minutes to properly regroup. And I noticed that there were three No Maidens cannons shooting on Vertex's base. We were not getting regrouped because we were rushing through two main balls on the road through stun traps, and then we'll try and regroup like 50 units next to a digital base, and it just wasn't going to work. So I said, why don't we take down these Vertex cannons? We're not regrouping anyways, right? And maybe I could have said it in a different tone or different way, but I thought I was pretty reasonable when I gave that feedback at the start. And then after that, Dragoon got a little bit angry, and he said, basically told me, he said, word for word, I'm pretty sure he said, literally shut the fuck up. After I said we're having a regroup for 5 minutes. At that point, I immediately muted my mic on Discord. And to be fair, I should have also probably muted my mic on stream as well, because I just wanted to rage to myself. That's why I muted my mic on Discord, and then that's when I actually started going off, right? Now, I'm not saying I'm in the right in that regard. I think a lot of people are not in the right in that regard, but I'll admit to my mistakes. And to be fair, after that moment, I took 1 or 2 hours by myself to cool down a little bit. Then I came back into comms, I apologized to Dragoon, and I spent the next 3 or 4 hours trying to help him and the other officers explain why that node war went so badly and what we can do in the future to improve next time so something like that doesn't happen again, right? The next point is where it was a 5v5 on Valencia Siege, and I left the guild, left the fort that they were getting stuck by Cho. I left for around about 5 to 10 minutes to scout some other bases. That was my original intention. I was trying to see if Isolated or Flawless were low or missing any FTs, so we could do a CTG play on them and try to flip tempo when we're hard losing the siege. When I got there, I was a little bit tilted and I started fragging around the bases for a bit. I was not the only one there. There were also other people there as well. Over the period of siege, there were people that were leaving mid-war. There were people that were fucking around doing their own thing as well. I was not the only one doing that. But I'll also admit to my mistake in regards to that. I apologize to Dragoon multiple times. I said that's not right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry for that. And I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen again in the future, right? So that was the second point. My main issue with this as well is even back when I was shot calling, I noticed this because I've been corrupt for like over 2 years. There are people that have been in the guild for longer than I have, and I noticed this multiple times. There are specific people in corrupt that whenever something goes wrong, something goes bad, they will immediately leave the siege. They will go AFK in the town, or they will just go off and do their own thing. And what I find surprising is none of these people have ever come up, admitted that they were wrong, admitted that they have made mistakes. Haven't seen officers ever publicly talk to these guys. But as soon as I make a mistake, it's immediately fully focused on what I did wrong. And I do admit I was in the wrong. Like, there's nothing I can say in that regard where going to another fort while your fort is getting hard stuck by a stronger guild is acceptable, right? So I admit I'm wrong in that regard. The next point is I was being a complete clown in the tier 2 Discord, and here's what actually happened in the tier 2 Discord. Essentially, I gave my feedback in regards to what was going on with the state of Node Wars and Siege, right? And I'll just explain what I said here. I typed release wrong. I said, I hope Siege Guild realize that when they drop on a planned fight uninvited by smaller guilds, it actively hurts the Node War scene and scummy a shitty thing to do. What I mean by that, I mean guilds like, guilds like Digital, guilds like Cho, and also, for that specific day, I think Corrupt could have avoided that fight and just let the two smaller guilds 1v1, right? The reason for this is I think that when two smaller guilds come together and they want to run a 1v1 or a 2v2, it's very demoralizing for the leadership and the members of that guild, especially if it happens multiple times during a week where their fights get sniped, and instead of having their PvP designed for their guild, where they're fighting players of equal gear, like similar gear score or similar strength in terms of guilds, they're fighting some of the strongest guilds in the guild, and these stronger guilds just want to farm players to boost their fragile egos, right? And try to make themselves look good instead of actually fighting guilds in their tier. And I don't agree with that. I never really once, I don't think I ever specifically called out Corrupt in what I was saying in Tier 2 Discord. I was just trying to explain that essentially ruining the coming uninvited into the fights of lower tiered guilds is a bad thing to do, right? And it actively hurts the Node War and PvP scene. And if they can't agree on that simple fact, then that conversation I have with them is pretty much over. I was trying to be very reasonable. I was trying to help the overall state of the Node War and PvP scene. I'm not going to apologize for that at all, because that's what I wholeheartedly believe in. That's why I believed in when I was doing politics in Corrupt. And I explained to them, you shouldn't ruin these lower tier fights uninvited. But if they say, hey, come in on this fight, you're welcome, there's no problem with that. But if they're saying, hey, can we have this 1v1, if they're saying, hey, we have a 1v1 or a 2v2 playing, can you please not crash it, and then you still crash it, I have a problem with that, okay? The last point I just want to say is, they said I don't care about the guild anymore. And in that response, I just want to say, if I don't care about the guild, first off, you gotta realize, I went from having no job to a full-time job, like working 50 hours a week, okay? I realistically went from being able to make 7 wars a week to 2 to 3 wars at best a week, because work is around the same time that Node War happens, right? If I didn't care about the guild, why would I spend 3 or 4 hours after Node War giving feedback and trying to help the guild improve? Why would I offer to backup call, or even main call on days when our main caller isn't there? Why would I offer to scout if I don't care about the guild? Like, that just doesn't make sense. There's things I'll apologize for, and there's things that I'll never apologize for, because I know I'm not in the wrong in that regard. And I'm one of the few people in this community that will ever admit to their mistakes and apologize for what they did wrong. There's so many people in the community that just can't accept the fact that they've made a mistake and just move on from it, right? And that's what I dislike the most about this community. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much my spiel. That's my feedback from what happened. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to it when I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully it makes sense. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.